Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aries. If Aries is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. And so tonight we have the Princess of Swords. Speaking of, here comes TT. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And let's see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. What do you think, TT? And I'm still under the weather here. Getting better. This kind of sickness that's going around. It's a weird one. But I'm getting my sense of smell back a little bit. But I'll tell you, I'm just worn out. It gets you, but it feels like so many people, got it like we did over the break here last month. Okay, so I want to start right here. I like this little image we have. It looks like a person kind of standing here watering. And I imagine out there, seeds are sown, now watering that garden, watering those little babies. Making sure that everything is tended to, doing the work, and doing it happily. It seems enjoyable. This is also fairly phallic, okay, and definitely a sign of strong fertility. And this could be in the physical, it could be creative, it could be within the realm of making resources or money. Whatever it is, it feels like you have a strong resolve, okay, to see this through, to create the thing. And I'm looking down here and it looks like a person who is carrying a bouquet of flowers. So I really do think, I really feel like this year is going to be one that comes with a lot of abundance. Okay. And when I see the bouquet of flowers, I don't think it's just like, okay, this is going to be your year. You're going to make a lot of money. You're going to have all the resources you need in the material world. But it's a bouquet of different flowers. So, there's some love in there. There's some spiritual growth, healing, and maybe, getting to some of those creative endeavors for sure. Whatever exactly your bouquet looks like, I think that it is going to be plentiful, and that's a lovely thing. That's a lovely thing. Now, we do have, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking it looks like an M. It kind of also, like, is there a Scorpio person? But then we also have the crab right here. And I'm like, okay, so maybe is there a Cancer person? Which either kind of makes sense because we have the Princess of Swords. So I feel like there's definitely a youthful, feminine energy in your life. And this is somebody who is very intelligent. Okay, very intelligent. Has a lot of opinions about the world. Probably even maybe like into some kind of activism or, they're very concerned about the state of the world, the state of our communities, collective issues and so on. Now, I think that they have good intentions, but I think that they also can get kind of carried away to some degree with these things. It can be all consuming. And I feel like there are moments, and I'm looking right here, it seems like we have a person standing here, we have another person here, and it's almost like they're, just, it feels like arguing, okay? And I'm thinking, there are good intentions here, but the passion overtakes them. And this is a young person's thing, right? A lot of times, anyways. And this is why it's so wonderful for younger people to get involved in the things that they care about, because they have not, they haven't been so tainted by a lot of responsibilities yet. Or, just ground down by life. And so they care about things so deeply. And I envy that. I miss feeling that way about things outside of myself, outside of my family. At the same time, I really, of course I care about things, but I'm very focused on my interior work, And so to see people that really, younger people in my life, the teenagers, the ones in their early 20s and stuff, and they do, and they're so bright, and they're so, but, I think in this case, it can cause some conflict in your home, in your family. I wonder if this is not your child or grandchild, or maybe you are the child or grandchild, and your family member it's hard. There's a lot of clashing. You come from different worlds almost, and it's hard to get somebody to understand where you're coming from, because they have completely different views of the world, experiences of the world. Their political views maybe are very different. Whatever it is. So, I think that this can cause a lot of disruption, and I think it's to some degree fairly unnecessary. I'm just going to say that right off the top. This is a tricky place, right? Because we don't talk about politics and all that stuff here. I just don't. But what I do know is that it's hard. It's hard to get past these things when you absolutely just cannot agree that somebody you love would believe something, or they care about something, or they would be telling people things that seem detrimental in your mind. But here's the work, okay? And this is kind of where I have been, especially these last 5 years or so, because it has become so amplified generally, just collectively, is that I find that when this happens, I coming from a place of just really trying to not engage it, to really be like, okay, I fully respect where you're coming from. I don't want this to get between us. Just at the very basic level. Can we agree not to talk about these things? And that's hard, especially with a younger person. If you are the younger person, if you are the older person in the situation, and there are certain kinds of personalities that they just really love to argue about these things. But I think a lot of times, I think if we set boundaries and we really try not to relate these ideas that people really hold on to, and they become identifiers, parts of their personality, and they aren't. This is not who we are. These are transient thoughts, transient feelings, transient, concepts, whatever. And so to, break away from maybe, a very deep relationship because of very superficial things, ultimately, on a philosophical level, is heartbreaking, right? And so the work is there to allow somebody to be whatever they are in that moment, even if it is very hard for us to understand, even if it really is aimed at us. If you have kids, sometimes they have very pointed ways of wounding us, because they're working something out. They're figuring themselves out. They're figuring out the world. And I think it's very normal to try to dive into the other end where, where you kind of go against what you've been raised around, or whatever it is. And so, really employing some techniques of self-soothing, really, the breathing, guiding ourselves through, visualizations of detachment from these kinds of identifiers, and I think that, excuse me, this can be really difficult. It's really hard not to take stances publicly. It's very hard not to take stances privately, deeply, with ourselves, And that's not, don't get this mixed up as some idea of, unaction or anti-action is, the way to go. That's not what I'm saying, because it really, truly, I think, and I believe this deeply, is that self-evolution, self-healing, really working on the interior state, it is something that is so, that is the radical, right? To really take it inward, to take that energy and put it inwards, so that we are healing not only ourselves, but our families, our direct communities, the psyche, the collective vibrations. And this is not a feel-good, love thing. Although, yeah, love is my religion in a lot of ways, right? But it really, and I'm not trying to, I know this maybe sounds like I'm trying to minister to you or something, but I'm not. I just think that I see this in here, and I look at this and I think it feels troubled. But I think this is somebody you love really deeply. And I feel like this is somebody who's always going to be in your life. And is it worth being in conflict with them over things that they will probably not care about, or maybe they'll care about, but it won't be so prominent in even just a few years? Excuse me. I look back even just on the way things were, I guess, during shutdown and all this. Everybody was really scared and looking for things to believe in, looking for things to really get into, to be involved in. A lot of fallout between people, families, communities, whatever. And even just a few years later, I think it's not that there's not been progress, but the things that people spend their time with, they've changed once again. The things that people care about, they've changed once again. So we must keep this in mind. and not be dismissive of one another, not by any means, but this is a relationship to focus on caring for. Okay, even if it's really difficult too sometimes. All right, let's see. I see a beautiful symmetry here. We have the 2 candles illuminated. And a leaf. And I feel like, this really is. It's a letting go of old things. And I wonder, if this is not kind of like the torch has been passed to you. You were young. You maybe still are young. But you probably had things you care about or cared about that, maybe your parents didn't understand or your family wasn't too accepting of or whatever it was. And you understand what it is to be dismissed, to be outcasted, to be not listened to be silenced, maybe even. And so as you have grown into this role that you're in now with whomever this person is, I think that some of that old stuff comes up, that feeling comes up. And I think that you've taken a real active role in not treating this loved one, this beloved person, the same way that you were treated. And I think that's also part of the work that is so important. To learn to be there, to foster, to hold space for, but not to dictate, not to try to make somebody conform, even if, to the extreme at times, they really are lashing out at you. And I think that is difficult work. I don't look forward to it. And I know it's gonna, I can already tell you, with my 3-year-old, she already knows best. Which, I love that. I love it. But my goodness, I just know it's gonna be quite a ride. So, I think of people who are able to coexist with others in this way as much as they can, kind of really like saints. I mean, that is some miracle working right there. So, I think it's a time that can feel combative. But there's deep work happening. There's some real deep work happening. Okay, so let's take a look. We have the Happier Me affirmation cards, and I'm going to go ahead and we'll check these out. See what's going on here. And it says, I got this one last night. We're going to do one after this. I have everything I need within myself. Yes, I have everything I need within myself. Just believe in yourself and allow yourself to grow. You have within you all the resources you need, which is true. And that's really, I love that one. But I want to do another one because, good, one I haven't seen. My body is powerful and knows how to heal itself. This is the one I needed tonight. Your body is designed to function in unity. If you get cut, your body heals the wound. Your body will always choose to heal itself and has unlimited power to do so. Yeah. Yes. I'm going to pray on that one tonight, definitely. All right. Aries, I want to say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out, and it is free to subscribe. If you would like to leave a comment, please do. I love reading them. I love connecting with you all. And Happy New Year! It's 2024, and we're all going to have a good year. Yeah, we're going to make some decent progress this year, I think. And so, with that, I will say I love you, I love you, I love you. Make sure you wash your hands. Everything icky is going around right now. It just is ridiculous. So, make sure, yes, you are washing your hands and all of that good stuff. And we'll talk in a few days. Okay, bye-bye. I love you. Thank you. Goodbye.